Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to another adventure into me adjusting my screen as everything is out of whack here. Welcome everyone to another adventure into reality. Everyone come on into the room, relax a second. I have got a speech that I'm going to read a little bit to you. So if your hand is raised, put it down. And right now there's only one person, Paul, lower your hand. We have not told anyone to raise your hand. If you are listening to us live on Facebook or YouTube, and you want to join the selection of people who will be called upon today, you must enter the Zoom room. Robert will pop up some information here in just a second of how to enter the Zoom room. All right, I got a bit of a speech here for you. I unpack and decode the 1 million letter celestial alphabet for the express purpose of being the celestial medium of peace. I dedicate this to all there is, was, and ever will be. I am the excellence of execution with flawed perfection. I am man, hear me roar, meow. There comes a time for those destined for greatness when we must stand before the mirror of meaning and ask, why have we been given this courage? I am the mirror and the man. This courage is my birthright and legacy to this world. This is the fifth world of peace. We must look into our own eyes that are tired from the long journey through mediocrity. In that moment of self-discovery, we learn we are soul tired of stagnation, soul tired of repetition without personal illumination. Our culture has become stagnant. Our society has become separate of reality for those living within the denomination of currency. A separation of humanity created by the money-driven caste system as a byproduct of world government's inability to actually do anything that helps people out of the stagnation or cruelty put onto them by the free market society. A system that uses free will to its advantage to create disadvantages for those that come to the future generations. Our parents and their parents before them had a vastly different life than those of the previous 1,000 generations. We have lost our way to create synthesis with our own selves. This speech is by design to challenge the readers and listeners in 900 degrees of separation from the creation of these words. Can you once again attain synthesis with yourself in this moment? Can you solve your greatest problem of attention and its deficit because our world screams with things that take us off course? Synthesis is not just a word, it is a state of personal freedom and awareness for growth within the patterns we create to promote our own evolution with our purpose and place in this world. When in the course of our personal human events, there comes a moment looking into the mirror of meaning when something looks back at us, and the raising of one's awareness, a time when some ask questions of the self and reflection, and others lose track of the moment, lost in their own petty momentary need for mystical justification. It is the few who choose to dissolve old beliefs and habit patterns that create habitual abuse of the self, who are the ones destined for greatness in a world of mediocrity. These self-chosen few know the full power of the self and the laws of nature and nature's gifts to us. It is our legacy and birthright to be in synthesis with all there is, was, and ever will be. Each and every one of us has the inner fortitude to face the self-created demons of mediocrity. It will be choice and our ability to enforce our choices through the storm of self-doubt and self-deceptions. Each day we challenge ourselves to become more than we were the day before. We pass on the legacy of the self to ourself so our greatness will not be forgotten to the ever-evolving waves of time. This moment now, as you read or hear these words, A vast, unseen world tunes into you, asking you to listen to the silence that expands your ability to know it, equal to the world and layered over it through the forms of thought and perception. You and only you can discern the silence and know how the unseen world speaks to you. As I write and speak these eternal words, decoded from the 1 million letter celestial alphabet, all of you feel the churning of a wisdom you have known since the dawn of all your eternal births. For the great remembering has begun. I know this because I feel you before this has ever been shown to another living person in this world. I have spread it to the rest of the uniworlds, layered over all forms of thought and perception, for the express purpose of being the celestial medium of peace. In this, we as a species, entangled with tens of thousands of other species, no longer have to battle for meaningless control of infinite space. Fear in the form of self-depravity, self-deception, and egotistical actions redefines and drives many in the uniworlds to do things unnatural to their natural way of being. We must face our fear of the unknown and know it is false evidence appearing real. We make it real, for we are the creators of our own reality. Too many of us hold false truths to be self-evident, appearing as real now, deforming our ability to store memories without our perception deception filters guiding us, with fear-based actionable wisdom driving us further into the charge and polarity of living in the layered uniworld. As the creators of our own reality, our self-truths are incumbent upon our own ability to be vigilant and disciplined, holding them as self-evident now. Without perception deception filters guiding us back into fear, doubt, or the many vices of depravity. Many of us believe the greatest human power of potential is within our ability to independently think, to choose our own goals and live our own dreams. Within the heart of humankind lives this natural instinct to know freedom. Here exists this independent psychological predisposition to chart our own course. This is a biological imperative directing us to grow. Choosing the spiritual joy through this biological imperative is the essence of our essence, being one with it as a part of us, as programmable DNA instruments of experience and awareness, as part of our choice-based system of belief interwoven with the fabric of time-space reality. The history of our past actions all too often retells the tales of life traumas, repeated without learning how to heal from them. A nagging unhappiness with our path, lack of clear purpose, or anything that does not promote us as conscious beings of choice who must go through the thick and thin of life's offering from a world mired in mediocrity. Too many of our world cultures teach us a blind desire to be judged worthy, lovable, accepted as part of the pack of conformists. We must learn about our hero's journey, the steps forward to do its great work, regardless of the projections put upon those around them, including loved ones who are still in the hypnosis of obedience and slavery. A hero's stance is frightening to those who unquestionably conform. You, as a hero, will not become subject to the tyranny of fools and the fool's desire to entangle with you in the fool's mission of self-deception. Too many of our species are lost to the abyss of unawareness, blissfully ignorant to the all of nature's gifts within the joyous tick-tock of the now. We can no longer live in apathy of the moment of now. We must be present to reclaim our authority and its wonderful gifts that exist in the now, that were given away to the system of cultural mediocrity and deprivation of our own relation with nature. If you should choose to be a conscious being of choice and full awareness, your choice is yours to use, discard, or give away to others. You and only you can attain personal freedom from the conformists who demand you conform. This is a form of cultural hypnosis that uses pre and post cultural hypnotic suggestions, demanding you respond to the needs of others, pulling you at every choice point, changing the course of your daily evolution into meaningless pursuits of false emergencies. This creates an inner detachment of our clear intentions and actions. Personal evolution becomes a TV series we binge watch, thus lessening our ability to even know synthesis. It is our birthright and legacy we must explore with clear heart, clear mind, and defend knowingness. The world will demand you conform. We step into our greatness with these truths self-evident to our beingness in stages of action, reclaiming our power and authority to be ourselves without conforming to the whims and fancies of others needing to make us conform to their reality rules. All too often, mankind forgets the unnatural foe of our life path. It is the distant vision of death driving us into choice points we adhere to with vigilant force. We stop our own evolution. The real truth is, we only have these moments of now. The byproduct of this form of thinking is present in the moment-to-moment detachment from natural living. This is unnatural to the way of nature, a creation by man's need to make others conform to thought constructs and ideologies of the past generations, demanding we make them relevant to grow. All too often, mankind does not have vibrant awareness of its own emotions. Lack of emotions means one cannot feel the subtle energy that surrounds our body, mind, and spirit as a complex hologram of light encoded in memories, lifetime to lifetime. We must choose to feel again and again. Each time you make the choice to feel, allowing the raw emotions to help define your course of action into your great work. So your great work can have a great impact on those you love. The choice to feel is your birthright and legacy. Each day, we must challenge the gates of apathy and drive forward our hologram with full presence and the potential power of being in the now. There are things inside us all that create self-sabotaging habit patterns. These habitual patterns take on the forms of unhealed traumas, rearing their head during our times of eternal crisis. Whenever we choose to be authentic with ourselves or loved ones, these patterns become programs of potent power from denial of our self-growth. Throughout the many generations, thinkers call these programs our internal demons. Our internal demons poisons the well of inspiration, turns hope toxic, and dispels goodwill into hatred, rage, and anger. Our destiny is determined in large part on how well we know our internal demons of self-doubt, self-deprivation, and how they use shame, blame, and guilt to distort our perceptions of people, places, and things, diminishing a potent power that can assist us in manifesting our dreams, desires, and needs so we lead a fulfilled life. How we battle them and choose to win each day will be determined by the metal you create within yourself. The path to self-mastery begins with identifying your internal demons and flipping the frequencies on their arguments for your limitation. Find your arguments for success and challenge your internal demons to go back to the recesses of your mind and sit in the corner, powerless to overcome your will to be a conscious being of choice in these moments of now. For if you do not defeat your demons, who will? The external will not save you. It will only make you conform to the global narrative. Many wonder why we cannot mature as fast as we could, seeing others leapfrog ahead of the pack of conformists when we ourselves cannot advance. We're stuck in pause, waiting for permission to declare our dreams and true intentions, struggling for what we want out of our life walk. We await the time for personal change to arise within us like a sexual stimulation, or for society to grant us permission to activate our inner genius and in turn activate the inner genius of others. This is the illusion in delusion, wrapped into a perfect enigma, surrounded by a conundrum of lack of self-worth. We have forgotten that courage is a choice, and permission and impetus to move with bold, decisive action is not given by the global narrative or the impotent masses entrenched into mediocrity. To seek change is to go against the grain of those demanding conformity to ideological and cultural patterns of limitation, truly advancing to the unknown with the choice to make it known, letting go of fear, envy, resentment, flying aloft on the wings of understanding, enjoying the reckless abandon of shedding off the conformist, will to suppress your desire to know the unknown. It is your birthright and legacy as a conscious being of choice on the path to self-mastery. The bold and disciplined invite the needed to grow. It is our savior from the fearful masses who will never hold their power until they too are faced with their internal demons and shed off the needs of the conformed masses who have forgotten that courage is a choice. What awaits them is the presence of choice itself and the potential power of living in the natural moment of now. At the edge of infinity with my expression of being in the now, I unpack and uncode the unlimited point of view within my state of emanation. It is the valuables and variables I choose to emanate that defines me throughout history as the living, breathing manifestation of peace to all there is, was, and ever will be. It is now that the moment of now understanding is uncoded with my internal patterns of recognition of the now through the perspective of my eternal selves within my moments of now that recognize and actualize all parts of myself, so a precognitive workforce may flow through all there is, was, and ever will be. It is the actualization and valuation that drives forward the hologram of light. Aho. What did you guys think of that speech? Powerful words. So everybody I know I just finished it up there, but if you have any thoughts, ideas, go ahead and write them in the chat room here. Somebody said lit it up. Yes, light uncoded. I wrote the speech in July last year, and I've used it once or twice here or there. It's one of those unique moments. I was on a 9.5-hour flight, and the plane got delayed, and I ended up getting delayed at the airport, and I started writing it when I was at the airport, and then from the airport to the next place that I went, and I got settled in, and the next thing I know, I wrote this speech over a period of about 3 days. And there's more to it. I just didn't want to read the whole thing, because that was 9 pages that I read. Personal responsibility. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who wants to have a conversation with me.
All righty, I'm going to pick a phone caller first off. Person with the 6444 last numbers. You're unmuted.
6444, are you there? Hello.
Let me try it again.
And if you want to be selected as a caller, please go down to the participant buttons and hit raise your hand.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I am. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Don't go anywhere. We can hear
My
you.
name is Solveig Mortensen, and oh, great. I'm calling from Frederick, Maryland.
Okay. Do you have a radio
Hi,
on?
can you hear me?
Yes. Do you have a radio on in the background?
Okay.
Turn off your radio in the background.
Do you need me to?
You can't have two things going. You have to either just be on the you have to turn off your radio or computer in the background.
Here, is this better?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Is that? Okay, I'll totally turn the computer off.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
It's okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I had it on speaker. I think that was the problem.
Yeah.
My apologies.
So what did you think of the speech I just did?
Okay. All right. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be on this phone call with you. Oh, it was pretty amazing. I feel like it spoke to me, even in regards to the question I was thinking about raising with you, because it had a lot. I think a lot of what's going on with me is having personal courage and feeling like a pull between trying to be strong enough to face like the challenges that are coming up in the world and in society, and remaining as honest an actor as I am, and not just trying to agree with what maybe is the going, I don't know, sort of like common understanding of what's going on in the world, versus actually saying what I think maybe is going on, even if that comes at some personal expense.
Mm-hmm. Courage is a choice.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
The courage theme is what really stuck out to me. And then going into like being willing to go into new uncharted territory and not know where you're going to end up.
Mm-hmm. And not be afraid of
it. But basing that around trying to remain rooted in what's true.
Mm-hmm. And to not allow yourself to go in fear because you're in the unknown territory.
Yeah, and not be afraid of it. And I think I really struggle with being afraid of it on a personal level.
What are you afraid of? Not being in control?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have a lot of issues with waking, right, or being alienated from people. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think sometimes just being alienated from the tribe is both, it's somewhat fearful for me, and it's also kind of natural. Like I kind of am used to just being in my own space, but then I also realize, of the interconnectivity with people, you have to be able to, talk to people about what's really going on and expose your own thinking. And have them, judge it, I guess.
But the title of that speech is called "At the Hub of Interconnectivity."
Sorry, I spent a lot of time trying to get the Zoom app up. I feel like I didn't. I was a little distracted.
It's okay. As I was saying that, I called the name of that speech as "At the Hub of Interconnectivity."
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I wrote it while I was on an airplane.
Yeah, that's really pretty powerful.
Yeah, the airport was packed, and then the airplanes were delayed by thunderstorms for 6 hours. So there, I'm just sitting there at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I can't sleep.
Really?
So
that's perfect.
Yeah, write a speech, and I pounded out 26 pages of a speech. That was just the first 9 pages. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think we're losing you now. Is your phone having weird connection? Or are you on your data
Wow. Plan? 26 pages of what interconnectivity is about.
Yeah. Some of it's some really high level stuff that's kind of just for me.
My phone is just cheap. Okay. I just think it's I'm trying to
We keep losing you.
Yeah, I'm sorry if it's breaking up. I'm sorry, because it's an old phone, and people complain after I talk for even just a short while, it starts breaking up.
Yeah, and then there's a delay in your phone too.
Yeah.
So also,
So
what kind of question did you want?
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess I'm curious at this juncture.
Are you there? Nope. I think Skynet got her. All right, Robert, let's move on to the next call.
All right, next caller will be, well, let's select Paul.
Okay. Paul, are you there?
Yes, Andrew, I'm here. How are
Great.
you doing?
Good. Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from Calgary.
Calgary. Welcome to the show. What did you think of the speech?
Oh, it's amazing. I've recorded Hub of Interconnectivity onto my phone and use it for meditative purposes. So it was excellent to hear it again live.
Mm-hmm.
I had my hand on the speaker, the external speaker I have, so I was able to hear the vibration of the message through the speaker, which was another way of experiencing it.
Cool. So what did you want to talk about today?
Well, I wanted to ask about a couple of things. One, in the members shows, you talked about a retrograde
Yes.
process for
Earth in retrograde. Yes.
Yeah, and then you mentioned something about Earth's new clothes. So my question is, obviously the current situation seems to be part of that process, and what are some of the potentials that may have changed since you last did that discussion?
So since then, I've recorded about 125 hours with Andre Hodge. And we're going to be releasing about 100 plus hours probably on the 18th of April, which is going to help everyone define what Earth in retrograde is. Now, the Earth in retrograde, think of when Saturn or Mars goes into retrograde, or Pluto or whatever it is, when a planet goes into retrograde. Earth is in its form of retrograde to everything else in the solar system right now. So it is projecting all of the insecurities on our surface world to the surface worlds of others, all of the insecurities of the astral in the inner earth world to the surface and astral inner earth worlds of other places and spaces that have celestial influencing markers upon us. Okay? So the changing of the clothes is a representation that Earth itself, the humans on it, have been sharing what I call the dirty energy underwear for a very long time. And we're going to shed off that dirty energy underwear. We're all going to get a set of clean clothes. Now, will there be those right away who will dirty up their clothes and jump into the pig pen and get themselves dirty again? And there'll be others that goes, I got a white shirt. Get your mud away from me. And we're going to project that to other places, spaces, and celestial frequencies who have been projecting their resolution of junk to us.
So obviously the reclamation of our own potential is obviously an integral part of that.
Correct. Process. And your ability to, as a choice, to use spiritual hygiene to define your sovereignty so others cannot fling their mud and their poo upon you.
Yeah, of course, time and money, two of the main global narrative control points, are significantly challenged right now.
Oh, all right. Everyone's got time back, and fiat money's awful challenged right now.
Yes. So you mentioned in the Hub of Interconnectivity the feelings and the better use of feelings, and for the discernment of potentialities. But you mentioned the hypnotic programs tend to distract or
put people into conformity.
Yeah, what would be some examples of the hypnotic programs?
Okay, so let's say everyone knows somebody that's a Fox News supporter, and if you try to talk to them, you can never get through to them. That's cultural hypnosis, conforming to what the news is telling you. Let's say pick any of them, the main three religions that are proselytizing their way as the only way, and you try to talk to somebody of deep into the faith, and you aren't going to be able to get through to them in any way, shape, or form. That's a religious hypocrisy. And the rest is a subtle forcing you to conform to culture, laws, rules, concepts that say you can't be out of the group of mediocrity.
Yeah, those are great examples. Yeah. So it's a matter of seeing past those kind of things, and as you say, the truth is a personal discernment.
Correct. And to not allow those people in cultural hypnosis or the conformists to not enforce their way on you in any way, shape, or form, to remain sovereign to your set of choice. That choice is a choice. Free will is a choice. Courage is a choice. You must use those choices at all times.
Yeah,
and conformity is a choice too.
Yeah, that's it's good. Obviously, good advice. Now, you mentioned when the Earth this retrograde, and there was an implied that Earth has been receiving these planetary emanations for a long time, and you mentioned how the water, because Earth is primarily a water planet, that it was absorbing those energies into the water, and that was affecting the whole reality on this planet. Yes. Now, in this retrograde, Earth is going to start emanating its like own version of reality.
A song. So every planet has a celestial song line, like whales singing a song, and it imprints upon the water. So Saturn, Mars, all the planets have a celestial song line when it's in its astrological alignment or trireme or some other astrological position that allows the planet to broadcast its energy. It's omnidirectional, omnipotent song line that will then strike the surface of the electromagnetic shield of Earth, which will then hit the high surface ice atmospheres, which will then blend with the high surface light that's blending with water. And that's how other celestial forces influence the water that's at the highest levels or at the astral levels. And after a while, the way the water works, as it gets more potent and potent with imprinted concepts, it becomes lower water and then becomes water that's in the ocean. And thus, those are the long-term imprints of other celestial songlines. Now, Earth will be broadcasting at such a loud celestial songline that other celestial songlines will not penetrate the upper magnetic atmosphere. And our potent, powerful songline, which is every human in every form of chaos or structure or whatever it is, that every individual human being is its own micro songline within the master songline of Earth. That will then be imprinting onto the upper magnetic atmospheres of all the other planet spaces and places.
So like the personal songline would just be vibrational, a light language, or just personal discernment?
All the above.
Okay.
So there's the celestial songline, but everyone has, it's just like an orchestra could have 10 saxophones and 5 drums and this and that. And each individual person gets a little bit of a micro solo here and there. But it's specific for those that are in soul families in other places and spaces who have been broadcasting high frequency, high potency resolution from the celestial source.
It's incredible. Now, has there been a change in the control rooms on the planet that are assisting in this process?
They're still kind of stuck the way that they are right now. No one's going to give up control of one, I assure you of that. And there's still many that they don't even know where they're at right now.
But there's the potential, of course, for.
There's always tomorrow you could have, Trump say something wrong on air, or the next CNN reporter going down with COVID-19 and letting the truth out, or Boris Johnson could pass and
yes,
you don't know what's going to make the change.
Yeah, and these control rooms are going to, I guess it's fair to say, they'll become more relevant in the future.
Not to the average human being. It's not like they're going to talk about them on the news anytime soon. people just won't understand their purpose until there's a grander awakening into the potency of every human being. Everyone is a God source being here, and we must be introduced to how to use that God source power without taking vengeance on those that have been acting unkindly to us.
Yeah. You mentioned that there's some sort of AI that is an overseer of the control rooms, and until the whole of humanity can harmonize and
Come
some
together,
frequency.
right, and all agree that they're going to simultaneously open the control rooms as a unified DNA species.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's called a DNA cipher lock.
Excellent. Well, Andrew, that's all the questions I have. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you for calling in. There was some really fun questions, and hopefully that will inspire other people to ask similar questions like that.
Okay, great talking to you again.
You're welcome. All right, Robert, let's spin up that wheel of callers and see who is up next.
Okay, Nia Andrews, you're on with Andrew.
Nia, are you there?
I am.
Hi, where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from Southern California.
Southern California. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
I'm really shocked that you chose me. So now I'm like, whoa, okay. I want to talk about, all right, so we're in this new reality or this alternate something, this quieter, slower time. And some people are freaked out and not knowing how to navigate it. For me, I found this, I couldn't sleep like the first week of March. And I felt like I was tapping into some collective consciousness of fear. I didn't feel scared myself, but the vibration of the dreams were really like, okay, whoa, this is quite nightmarish. And then what was really strange was this other feeling that I had, which was this feeling of excitement and activation, as if, okay, here we go. Finally, now we're here to do what I incarnated for. And that excitement I found very strange.
Is it real? Or are they going to pull the carpet from under us again?
Yeah, right. It feels like such a crossroads, like we can pivot in any direction. But something in my spirit just kind of sat at attention, like, okay, yes, here we go. Like now we're driving. And I feel like I'm sitting in the car with my hands on the wheels, but I can't put my foot on the gas yet, but I'm ready to go. And I'm just very hungry to activate what that is, but also recognizing maybe it's time to just calm down and listen. I don't know if anyone else is.
Yeah, first thing first, you're already activated. You're already in the driver's seat. But the race isn't today, though.
When's the race?
It'll be in a little while. You'll know when they wave the check, when they wave the flag, the green flag to go.
Oh, God.
Okay? It's a race isn't today. But what do you do to prepare for the race?
Right, exactly.
Well, what exercises do you have to do to make sure you don't, break a leg, okay? Or twist an ankle or lose your energy, a mile into the race because you haven't done your spiritual exercise.
What do you suggest?
Metaphorically, spiritual jumping jacks.
What is that?
That you begin to do spiritual calisthenics.
Okay.
Meditations that actually challenge you to stay focused. Contract revocations that are not 5 minutes long, like the consciousness strike. Make it take 30, 40 minutes and add to it. Ritual and ceremony where you have to remain high frequency for 2 hours. Really begin to exercise those spiritual muscles.
Yes.
It's not about cleaning the house up anymore. The house is clean enough.
Right.
Okay. You don't need to change your tires. You've already changed your tires. You've done the oil. This is literally that nervous time before the starter gun goes and the race is on. So what do you do to mentally, physically, and spiritually prepare for the race itself?
Yeah, I do. I know I need to work on my focus, and I have moments where I'm really like, I'm on it. I'm meditating. I've got my routine down. And then I really know how to escape too and just not do that.
So that's one of those things you got to work on. Otherwise, the starter gun's going to go and you're like, oh, wait, I've got to go make food.
Right.
As everyone else is off to the awakening race.
Yes. I've done some contract revocations. Thank you for those. They're really, really helpful. And yeah, I forget the name of one, the something of equity. Oh, what do you call it?
The Union of Community Alchemical Consciousness Strike.
Yeah, those have been helpful, but I tend to do those with a guide. So would you suggest now taking it to the next level is
doing it on your own
myself
with a quality in voice that's truly understanding the words as you're reading them,
right?
Like an empowered, impassioned voice.
Okay. Yes. Has something else.
Sure.
You know, we're humans, we're living in this 3D reality, and there are times where I'm like, okay, I'm grateful, I'm working. I'm grateful that I have other dreams and goals and na. But sometimes that feels so at odds with like the spiritual component. And I want to find a way to weave it all in together, I guess, or like sometimes I just feel very distracted by the obligatory 3D things. I don't know if other people are feeling that way.
Who makes them obligatory?
Well, I mean, I got a job. I have a day job. I got a very capitalistic boss, you know, bragging
So
about how many.
I've got a day job too, and I'm not capitalistic.
Right, but I'm working for other people. So while I'm trying to, and with other people, so while I'm trying to get everyone to remember our humanity.
That's not your job, though.
Okay. Well, I'm doing it for me.
That's still not your job.
Okay.
That's the obsession of waking everyone else up. You can't wake up people who don't want to be woken up.
Yeah. So
that's why it's so easy to distract yourself into doing mundane 3D matrix things instead of putting it all into your own bundle. This is the time of the race that you fuck everyone else.
Okay.
You want pole position? You want to take off right away? You want the cameras on you and the metaphor of the race starting? There she goes. You want everyone to eat your dust? Focus on yourself.
Worry about yourself. Have you ever seen that viral video of the little girl in the backseat of the car putting a seatbelt on, and her dad says, "Do you need help? What do you want me to help you with?" And she says, "I want you to worry about yourself." That's what you're making. Worry about
yourself. Yes, exactly. Worry about yourself. Okay? Literally, worry about yourself. Let go of everyone else's emergencies.
Okay. So play my position at work and use my energy to fortify myself spiritually.
To prepare your focus for the race that you don't know when the starter gun's going to go, but everyone's going to go from wherever they're at and jump into their car, rev the engine, and tear down their driveway. Do you want to hit the mailman on the way out? No.
Now, I had a dream. I have had a lot of dreams about this time over the years, and they're all out of order, but one of them that feels like the beginning of this race thing, this is why I'm speaking in this metaphor, is me literally being in the car about to drive out of my apartment complex and saying, here we go, let's go. What I'm just so itching to know is, what is the race about? What is it? What are we preparing for?
Your God source self.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Your God source self. And what the hell am I going to do with it on a race of a whole bunch of other God source self people?
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay.
Who's going to manifest the God source stuff first?
So I needn't get distracted by this other stuff?
During this interim time where, as you said, the world seems a lot more quiet. This is the time where you use that quiet to your advantage and enter the state of focus.
Yeah. Okay. Focus.
And then using your focus in a strategy.
In a strategy. So, okay. Is there anything else? Excuse me, I'm like something's coming up.
Mhm.
Anything else that would be really useful for me to know that may be in my blind spot at this time?
What do you do for a job?
I am a recording artist, and I used to do that full time. I got a divorce, and then I had to get a job. And so, not that that's not a job, but it's more steady income. And so now I still sing and play. I have a show on Saturday, live stream. I'm scared about it, but it's fine. And then I work at a record label, helping artists get their music videos done. So it's fun because I get to be creative, but it can be triggering sometimes because I'm an artist too, and I'm like, I don't want to freaking help these people do this. I want to do my own thing. So sometimes I get very confused about where to focus my energy and finding the balance between having gratitude and not being resentful, and also I have like a long-standing narrative that I've been really disengaging from, of just having a lot of like very successful, sometimes famous people just being very parasitic with my own energy. So I'm not able to be live on stage myself. I'm like the light behind everyone else, supporting and being eclipsed by these other people. So it makes me a little irritable at times through my work.
What's in your blind side right now is everything you just said.
Okay.
And when it comes to the job, you're going to have to learn to disconnect your personal emotions from the job.
Okay.
It's just a job.
Okay.
You got to remind yourself, it's just a job. It can be replaced with 1,000 other jobs. It's just a job. The job doesn't define me, who I am. You stick with those set of words, and then when it's time for you to get on stage, this is my job. This is my purpose. This is why I'm here, to help the masses through the power of my voice and my songs and the career I make with this. And this will be you believing in yourself.
Okay.
It's a courageous choice.
Thank you for saying that. I feel that way, that I chose a very colorful life that requires a lot of courage.
Yes, and it's not a mystical.
What do you mean?
Mystical. Courage is not mystical. It just requires you to go inside and go, I have the courage to be who I am.
Yes.
And be damned to everyone else who says I can't do it.
Yep, Ashe.
That's right. You are irrelevant to me. All those other negative projections.
What is the deal? It's like, I'll be really, really focused. I mean, are these just tests? And it'll be just fools in my phone. Hit me up out of nowhere, right? When I'm like, I don't need your validation.
Those are trickster spirits to take you off the path. Just like you said, you don't need their validation, but there's something inside you that keeps them in your phone.
I know.
Or lets them into your phone in the first place.
Well, some of them I have to work with, which is,
Okay, well, just don't answer back. Are you one of those people that has to have your phone attached to you like an umbilical cord?
Excuse me calling out my Gemini placements that love communication.
Yeah, you need to cut that umbilical cord.
I need to put the phone down.
Yes, you need to cut the umbilical cord from the phone to your brain.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Calling
Mhm.
me out. Calling me out.
That's right. And you need to make a song for it. It's I'm putting the phone down today.
Sing it.
Sing it. Revel in it.
Oh my God. This is amazing. It's so fun.
Do you have a 3 battery a day habit?
No, but I think it's because I have a very powerful, long-standing battery.
So you've elevated yourself.
Oh man. Well, okay, so but when I'm working, I'm at the computer. I have to be reached throughout the day, but I guess you know what? What I can do is outside of work hours, I can just unplug.
Uh-huh. And
Mhm.
not be forced to go, who's messaging me? Who's
I
making me
know.
feel important today?
Stop, Andrew. Well, you know, I'm quarantining alone, so you know, I like human connection.
I do too. But how many social medias or things apps are attached to your phone?
A lot, but listen, I go on
Pick
long breaks.
pick one. Get rid of
I
the
do.
other ones.
I've done that
Okay?
pretty much ish.
Ish. Have the courage to select one.
Okay.
And my best advice is take the apps off of your phone and just use a tablet or a computer for those things. And tell people whatever's going on, I'm not connecting that stuff to my phone anymore. You are going to have so much time to yourself
Yeah.
where you can then get to the next level,
What's the next level?
where you're empowered and courageous and you can get onto your live seem strange and rock it.
Well, okay, where I get torn is, you know, I've been told that I'm being unprofessional because I didn't post on Instagram for 4 months because I was taking a break or things like that.
And who told you this?
Other people who are more 3D successful.
Do they have like people doing their work?
Maybe this one person, yeah, I don't have a team. So
Okay, so if you want, you could pre-prepare 6 months of shit and upload it to Facebook, Instagram, and never touch it for 6 months.
oh, and put it on the schedule.
Yeah, to schedule it to print, but you'd have to spend a day or 2 days of coming up with 6 months of posts. Once again, social media as a business is highly deceptive what it actually does to you.
Yeah, it's not good. I take long breaks and spin fast from it all the time.
You have to.
I feel so much better.
Right.
I'm sensitive, so I can't, you know.
Do you want to tell people where your live stream is at so they can go listen to you?
Sure. I am playing on my Instagram handle is @NiaAndrews, and the link is in my bio, and it's for charity. You can watch, it's donation based. So you get a ticket, you pay whatever you want, and the proceeds go to a charity called Music Cares, and it goes to the artists too. And Music Cares has helped so many musicians, myself included. If anyone's a musician on here, and if you are like not knowing how you're going to pay your bills this month, you can apply for a emergency grant through Music Cares. Thank you. I think that's Jose who put it's in the chat.
Yeah, that's a bunch of people got it in the chat already. Yep.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so if you're a musician or if you know any musicians, they will pay your bills for the month. It depends on, I think, how long you've been working, or I don't know how they determine who gets how much you get, but they have to spend that money. It's no strings attached. And I think it's really cool, a cool service. So I'm doing a solo set. I'm scared because I'm just playing by myself in this new context, but I'm excited to share my medicine.
There you go.
Guys.
And you just got to find the courage to just do that. Share your medicine that is in the form of music.
You are the best.
That's right.
Thank you.
Good. Are there anything else you want to ask me?
Is there anything, any gems you have for me about my son.
How old is he?
13.
Is he really big into video games?
Yes, but we've told him to stop.
Which video
Well,
games?
he's
Which
on
video?
punishment, so he can't play right now.
What video games does he really play?
He really likes Fortnite, like all the kids. That's the one that I know of the most. But right now he can't play video games, so he watches a lot of YouTube. He makes music too, so he's kind of obsessed with making music on his computer.
So you have a really gifted kid in technology.
Yeah.
And when you take technology away and replace it with something else, there's still the obsession there.
He's got an obsessive personality for sure.
Right. And I'm going to go against the grain of advice normally here. And I want you to sit down with him, because this will help him break the obsession or break out to the next level. And actually say to him, do you think you're that good at Fortnite that you could do this professionally?
Oh, he wants to be a gamer, skater, beat maker, for sure.
Then encourage him to do it.
Okay.
That kid, if he could get over his own bullshit and be under a schedule like a real programmer who has to have a schedule, who goes to regular exercise, has coaches, gets on a team, and actually has to have his shit together, which includes doing his own laundry, preparing his food. So he understands if he wants to have that life, it's not everyone services your ass.
Right. I love that.
They encourage him to say, I will be behind you becoming a pro gamer, but all this other stuff has to be cleared up.
Yes. Okay. So I'm getting dragged a little bit in the chat because I said punishment. Guys, he got in trouble. We needed.
He did something wrong. Exactly. Don't beat her up,
guys. So his other parent wanted to take away, all technology and music, and I'm just like, no, let's not take away the things that help him to be creative.
Right. Exactly.
So that's interesting. Okay.
He's either going to make it or break it. Okay. And this is either going to give him a really powerful evolution force. Mom's behind me? No way.
Yeah, well, the game's at Dad's house. I got to get Dad on board.
No, you don't, actually. He can get Dad on board.
True.
by making money.
He's a clever kid, but super sensitive. It's like, oh my gosh. When his energy's so big, I'm just trying to do my best to parent this big little man. Okay, that's interesting.
Yes. Remember, he's an obsessive with technology. And when he's got to go and actually understand what being a pro gamer is, there's a lot of stuff he's not going to be ready for.
Okay. And kind of leave him to it then, right?
Yeah. Well, you've got to be strict. Being a pro gamer means this, and this. It means you got to not just practice, but you have to get out and exercise. You've got to regularly study your opponents. It's not just sitting there and streaming and collecting money. You got to learn marketing. You got to learn how to make the posts, create your own social media.
Oh, yeah. He's starting to practice that with selling his beats. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Look at us out here just trying to survive and thrive out here.
Right.
Cool.
All right, darling. Thanks a lot for calling in, and everyone's looking forward to come seeing you on their live stream.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, darling. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All right. I don't know how to pronounce this. Will MD Realm Topper. You're unmuted with Andy.
Will, are you there? Good old buddy Will. How's it going?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm kind of heartbroken a little bit.
Aw, what's going on, brother?
And I wanted to see if I could talk to you a little bit about maybe get some closure or some peace of mind.
Yeah.
So back in late January, somebody gave me some advice about just kind of going with the flow of things. And, I was kind of blocking, I guess, my guides trying to bring somebody in because I was trying to control the situation. So I took their advice and I went with the flow, and I stepped back and I didn't try to control anything. And it's funny because 3 days later, an acquaintance of mine set me up with somebody, and when we started talking, it was like an immediate soul connection. So it was a soulmate, you know. And we got along really well, and we got to know each other. And then around, I say Valentine's Day, we started dating. And but it was really rough. Like the energies between us were just so hard, and we would argue a lot over like just dumb stuff. We would like if we spent like 2 or 3 days apart, we would go kind of like get irritable and crazy, like we had to be with each other physically, you know. And then we would just calm down and be like really happy, but we would argue over like petty stuff, and we didn't really understand why. And we were both into the same stuff, like esoteric stuff. And then there's a big magic community down here, and we're kind of both into that a little bit, like, you know, hoodoo and stuff. Like voodoo is down here in New Orleans, so that you know, so, and we were just part of the same community. And she, like, I guess, you know, she would kind of point out some of my own faults, and then I would kind of do the same for her, but then she would just like can't accept it and kind of bolt, like hang up the phone and just run. And then you know, I would kind of chase her down, you know, and we would try to work it out. But and I thought, you know, like, because this was like, I was going with the flow, you know, I was gonna stick it out no matter what and try to work it out. But I don't know, it was always so hard. The energies was so crazy between us, and both of our psychic abilities would like heighten around each other. And I don't know, it just seemed like great times one moment, and then like terrible times the next. And then finally, when this stuff started getting serious with this Corona stuff, it was around March 13th. I tried to make her get kind of serious, and she just bolted, and I just didn't have the strength to run after her again. And I just don't know how to I just don't understand what happened.
So we are entering the times where the awakening is happening. And part of this is you're in a circumstance where it could have been a much better relationship if you had a year to work it out. But the time of the awakening is so close. And this was one of those people that you had a spiritual contract with, and she had a spiritual contract with, that if she was able to not bolt, if she was able to actually be an equal co-creator and not a codependence in the relationship, that you would have a great awakening together.
Yeah.
But she's proving she can't. Yeah. And you're really heartbroken because she had all the potential and possibility, and you're right on the starting line where the starting gun's about to go, and you're fucking off. What the fuck? Okay.
It, you know, something kind of happened in this whole circumstances that kind of goes with it, was that months prior, I think since last summer, I'm sorry, like probably last fall, I started to see visions of like this other version of me that got like some sort of parasite and then looked very sick and pale and pretty messed up. And I kept hearing like this voice from this image saying, I don't want to die. You know, it kept telling me that, like, I don't want to die. And that would pop in almost every month or two, twice maybe a month. And then after Mardi Gras, because we spent a lot of Mardi Gras together, and we had people from like all over, like, you know, all over the world and all over the country before, you know, everybody started panicking, you know, because this was like late February. Like started panicking with this coronavirus. And then right after that, I had gotten like really sick, like so sick that like I felt like I was hit by a truck, and I was literally.
Because you got the coronavirus,
Yeah, I would have figured that.
which is karmic resolution at a time where this girl was supposed to be with you, right? But wasn't.
Well, she was still with me during that time when I was sick, and
But she was pulling out already.
oh yeah, yeah,
She was pulling out already. Come on, she just had a toe in the water at that time.
yeah. And then it was funny that very night when I got hit with it, I was literally. I mean, I was in so much pain that I was literally whimpering, but I didn't know what I had. And I had fallen asleep with exhaustion, and then like I saw a vision of her like working on me with Reiki, and then like my guides, her guides, all there. And then that morning I felt really better, like a lot better, and recovered very fast. And then she actually said, yeah, I was working on you with Reiki, and I was going to tell you. And she said that, she thought that was very interesting that I was able to see it. And I recovered pretty well after that. But I don't know. I was just trying to get some understanding to that. You just shared that perspective. And it's just so heartbreaking that somebody during this time would, especially a soul connection, would just bolt on me.
But she knows no better, man. She knows no better.
And I just don't know how to recover from this, because like 2 years prior, there was another soul connection, and that person bolted. So it's like one kick in the nuts from the universe after the other. And it's like, I don't know how to get up and recover from this.
First thing first, you wear a cup from now on. Okay? Metal cup. Okay? Just know this. Sometimes when the shit of the shittiest of the shit happens to you, it's not your fault. And because there's a soul connection, it makes the kicks and the nuts to work to make a lot worse and make it a lot harder on you. And you've just got to allow yourself to breathe through this. Just like you did the last one. I remember telling you had to open yourself up. And the deep part of you didn't want to open yourself up because something like this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. Feel those tears. Feel those tears, brother.
I just want to be loved.
You are loved right now. You are loved right now.
I really needed somebody right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you said, it's really hard when it's a soul connection and people.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what to do anymore.
Here's where you still got to find the courage to love yourself. In the storm of everything that's going on inside you, you got to find the capacity to love yourself.
Okay.
You're a survivor. You're a realm topper. Okay?
Right.
Old souls don't get to do it the easy way.
Is it such a terrible thing to want to be loved by somebody?
No, it's not a terrible. It's a completely natural thing.
I just feel like I'm being such a terrible person to ask my guides for someone to love and someone to stay and love me.
Listen, you got a couple minutes. You got a couple minutes of love. Helped you get over the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the last one was a lot more destructive on you than this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Find that inner survivor man inside you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just so tired, I guess, of being alone. I don't know if I keep attracting these type of people to me.
No, stop that shame, blame, and guilt. This was coronavirus pre-love before the Great Awakening. and it was spiritually contracted. If both of you were ready to make it to the next level, you would have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's really helpful. Thank you.
Okay. You also got to get in contact with those tears that you're feeling right now. You're hurt. Okay. You're limping. Your one ball's swelled pretty damn big from a shot to it.
Right.
You got to nurture yourself now. You got to put some ice on that ball. Okay.
Right.
Okay. You're going to be limping for a bit. It's okay. You're not dead. You know, an arm or a leg weren't cut off.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I just really needed to talk to you about this. Somebody.
Okay. I want you for a moment in these tears to turn your vision internally to yourself, to the source that is you. And I want you to try to love it. And you are worthy of your own love. And keep saying that to yourself. I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of my own love.
Okay.
You are worthy of your own love.
I'm worthy of my own love.
I am worthy of my own love.
I'm worthy of my own love.
I now accept my own love.
I now accept my own love.
And I allow it to fill that void space inside me that hurts.
Allow it to fill that void space inside me that hurts.
It causes these tears I feel right now.
And it causes these tears that I feel right now.
I fill that void space with my love of worthiness.
I fill that void space with my love of worthiness.
I am a being of love.
I'm a being of love.
I came from love.
I came from love.
I am love.
I am love.
And I accept that into my core now.
And I accept that into my core now.
To help heal this wound of pain.
Help me this wound of pain.
These tears are now cleansing this pain.
These tears are now cleansing this pain.
Healing this wound.
Healing this wound.
And allowing me to awaken.
And allowing me to awaken.
To my own love.
My own love.
I am worthy of my own love.
I am worthy of my own love.
I return myself back into my body.
I return myself back into my own body.
All of my soul parts and shards.
All of my soul parts and shards
are reconnected and rebound through love.
Are reconnected and bound through love.
I am worthy of my own love.
I am worthy of my own love.
I am worthy to allow this pain to be healed.
I am worthy to allow this pain to be healed.
I am worthy so that I may grow once again into the being I am.
Worthy to grow into the being that I am.
I will not fall back.
I will not fall back.
I will grow.
I will grow.
I will make this pain irrelevant to my greater growth.
I will make this pain irrelevant to my growth.
For I am loving myself at this moment.
For I am loving myself in this moment.
With such potent power, I feel it in my heart.
Such potent power that I feel it in my heart.
And for all these tears that flow,
for all these tears that flow,
is healing my heart,
is healing my heart,
my soul,
my soul,
so my journey may be unencumbered.
my journey may be unencumbered
and free.
and free.
For it is my choice to be courageous in this moment
For it is my choice to be courageous in this moment
and love myself through this pain.
and love myself through this pain.
It is my birthright and legacy to myself
It is my birthright and legacy to myself
to be in my body,
to be in my body,
to be courageous with my own love,
to be courageous with my own love,
to let go of the struggle of being loved by others,
to let go of the struggle of being loved by others,
so I may learn my power of love.
so I may learn my power of love.
And it will find me the right match
And it will find me the right match
to myself in this moment of now.
to myself in this moment of now.
I allow myself to feel my love,
I allow myself to feel my love,
for I am a God source being in the now,
for I am a God source being in the now.
awakening to my greater potential
Awakening to my greater potential,
to be able to love
to be able to love
all there is, was, and ever will be.
all there is, was, and ever will be.
I now love all there is, was, and ever will be.
I now love all there is, was, and ever will be.
For it is my journey in the great awakening
For it is my journey in the great awakening
to be a lover,
to be a lover,
without this pain encumbering me anymore,
without this pain covering me anymore,
freeing me on my journey
freeing me on my journey.
to be the greatest lover there is, was, or ever will be.
Be the greatest lover there is, was, or ever will be.
Aho.
Oh. Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. I know you're in the rough times, but you got to remember to love yourself. You also got to remember to just forgive yourself from this experience. You did nothing wrong. And I want you to hear these words over and over again. You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. Okay?
Yeah. I want to go with the flow, and I try to be so controlling. And I just want that courage to move forward again. And I feel like it, I don't want to say that it kind of damaged my belief in,
Right
trust.
now, it did damage your belief because that nut is still swollen.
Yeah.
You got to put some ice on it. Your manhood. You're bruised there. Okay? Your manhood is bruised. It will heal. It will not scar. Unless you continue to beat yourself up about it.
Right. No, I don't. If I can get over the last one, I could do this one.
Exactly. Okay? The last one, I've talked to you many times. The last one was a lot worse than this one. This one just comes at a time where it's a gut shot to you.
Yeah.
Because we're on the verge of the Great Awakening. Okay? But I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be better off that you tried. You're going to be far better off that you tried. Okay?
I'm glad I was able to get in and talk to you.
Yeah, it was meant to be.
Well, I guess on a positive note, I already am immune to the corona.
Yeah. You went through Corona and a big breakup, man. Doesn't get any worse than that. You're a survivor.
Yeah. Whew. Well, thank you for talking with me about that and helping me. I felt a lot of release there.
Good. It'd probably be a good idea for you to go back and listen to the recording and just let yourself go back into that teary state and reinitiate that ability to love yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mr. Andrew, and thank
You're
you.
welcome. All right, brother. You have a good day. Good talking to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Keep on loving yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Powerful healing there. Powerful healing there, everyone. See, I'm looking at the chats over there. Chills of release. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see what the universe has for us next.
Okay, next person, Amanda Sutter. You're unmuted with Andrew.
Amanda, are you there?
I am.
Hi, how are you doing today? Where are you calling from?
Minnesota.
Welcome to the show, Minnesota. What did you think of that healing we just did?
That was amazing. Actually, I'm going through exactly the same thing is what it feels like as him. But that was actually not my question. So I was really grateful for that experience. I was saying everything along with him, and thank you.
Okay. So what did you want to talk about today?
My purpose.
Oh, your purpose.
know.
Oh, it's okay. Well, tell me a little about yourself.
Well, my whole life, well, most of my life, I thought my purpose was music. And then my father passed away last December, and we did music together. He was actually the one who drove me a lot, and I kind of felt really inadequate in it recently. And I didn't play music for a while, but I find that I can't stop writing poems. So I'm still doing that, but I'm also, into trauma work with people. And so I just, I feel like I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Like, I feel like it's a decision point where I could choose to continue to try and do the music thing, or I could really just pour myself into being a healer through
Why can't you do both?
projections.
Why can't you do
I
both?
could. I feel like it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
I really want you to ask yourself and find out the answer of why you can't do both.
Okay. Why can't I do both? Because I
And what
feel
is-
trauma work is so individual, and music is more like for a broader audience.
But each song individually affects everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many times have you ever heard somebody sing the lyrics to a song completely wrong? But it's
no.
right to them. Music is still an individual journey to accepting it.
Yeah.
It will be your frequency that determines how you pass on the essence of your music.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can very much be a trauma healer and write a love song that affects many.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. It's frequency.
Yeah.
Okay. Harmony.
Thank you.
Okay. How long you been doing trauma release for?
About a year. I've been trained in it for about a year.
What did you take? What class?
I took completion process course.
Okay.
My other question is, am I in the right place geographically? Because I feel Minnesota is so shut down. It's so emotionally repressive, and it's the norm.
But Minnesota is the greatest consumer of psychics in the world. Did you know that?
No.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yes. There are more psychic fairs per capita in Minnesota than anywhere else in the world.
I had no idea.
Yes, I know. I've been there many, many times. Many, many sessions from there.
But it's not the impression I get from the people I see every day.
Because your signature frequency isn't matching them. You're still at a much higher frequency than a lot of people there, but there are a lot of spiritual teachers that are there and train there and teach there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is it the right place for you? No, it isn't. But During coronavirus, you don't have anywhere to go. You're not going to reset and restart right anytime soon.
No, I know that.
So just accept that. When coronavirus is said and done, you get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But until then, accept being there.
Okay.
Okay? What are you going to do during coronavirus?
Well, I've recently rededicated myself to a self-love course.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working through a lot of that. I realize I had a lot of enmeshment issues growing up, so I'm a bit of a people pleaser, and I abandoned myself at the drop of a hat, and it sucks.
Who taught you that?
My parents, obviously.
No, they showed you how to do it, but who taught you how to become a master self-abandoner?
I don't know.
Okay. There's an inner part of you that's a self-abandoner who truly doesn't believe in who you are.
Okay.
You have to abandon the abandoner.
Yeah, there's a lot of self-doubt in that part.
Oh, that's where you got to find those arguments for your self-defeat and allow the abandoner to give you their arguments. Like go inside and go internally. What is the first argument for self-defeat for abandoning yourself?
Because I don't know what's best for me.
Now flip the frequency. What is best for you? Only you know.
Right.
Okay. Now dispel and dissipate that other abandoner's argument for your defeat. Don't allow it relevancy anymore. And go through every argument of self-defeat and flip the frequency on it and dissipate and release the abandoner. And that's how you're going to gain your confidence in being who you are right now. And that's going to change your signature frequency and all the people that are around you.
Okay.
I think you should turn that into a song. I really do. I really think you should really find and turn that into a song.
Okay. That I can do.
Because many people will connect to the words of self-defeat, their inner shadow that doesn't want them to succeed. And then you get to sing with the powerful inner voice of, here's your argument for success. Flip the frequency.
Okay.
What were you doing for a job?
Nurse.
So are you in the critical care part?
No, actually, I resigned when this crap hit the fan because my son has asthma.
Okay.
And chose to stay home with him instead.
Okay, we have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do 3 months from now when you have no money?
Well, currently my husband's paying the bills. He's a programmer from home. We actually split right before this whole coronavirus thing hit in order to reconnect with ourselves, because we ended up being really codependent and enmeshed, and neither one of us really were in touch with ourselves anymore after we had tragedy after tragedy. Of course, it's external, but it just kind of wore us down over the last 3 years.
So what are you going to do to build your strengths back up?
Well, we both realized that neither one of us have ever really been out of a relationship long enough to build our own self-reliance. So that's what we're trying to do right now.
Okay. What are you individually going to do for yourself? Work on your purpose.
Yeah.
Which is to be multidimensional, multifunctional being of light. Who can inspire herself at any moment if she chooses the choice of courage.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, your purpose is going to be ever evolving. I want you to know that. It's going to get greater and greater. And when you're ready to make a big impact on people, your purpose will strengthen and widen.
Okay.
Okay? Right now, you're in the narrow part of your purpose where you're trying to evolve. Well, evolution is an ongoing process. It has plateaus and stopping points, but each point there's another choice to expand vertically and laterally and horizontally.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Allow yourself to expand into the many directions that is you. And you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay. Forgive yourself of the mistakes of the past and the mistakes you're going to make.
Okay.
Okay.
That should be challenging.
Don't see this as shadow work. See this as flipping the frequency work.
Okay.
You know your shadow like the back of your hand. The little bitches run your life for long enough. Okay. You know her game.
Mm-hmm.
You know all of her arguments for self-defeat.
Yep.
What
Absolutely.
better time than coronavirus lockdown than to do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else you want to ask me?
The only other question I had is when I do get the hell out of here, are my kids meant to go with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You won't be able to live without them.
Well, I feel that way, but I don't know if I can really, one of them's 16, the other one's 10. The 16-year-old will probably make his own choices.
Sure, but until that time comes, he's with you.
Well, actually, he just decided to live with his father. He's been there since this whole lockdown started.
Oh, great. It gives you a little time off to have more time to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And if he doesn't want to go with you, then that choice is made.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, darling. Take it easy. Have a great day. Good talking to you.
You too.
You're welcome. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers one more time.
Hey, next person is Rolly. You're on with Andrew.
Rolly, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, where are you calling from today?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
I had a little experience, and I'll just try and speed this up because it's a long story, but I was driving down the road on the interstate, and what happened is I got bit by the virus in the nose.
Okay.
I noticed the whole of the moment that it happened, the feeling, and then the warmth from it. And I wonder if that was actually the virus, because I really never had any symptoms or anything else happen after that.
No, that was a ghost.
Yep.
That was a ghost.
What would have been the intention of having a ghost do that? Just to take you out, kind of, or put you in depression?
No. You see, we are living in some very unusual times where the ghosts are very much struggling because their society is breaking down, just like our society is breaking down. And it needed to be noticed. That's why I went for the nose. It needed to be noticed, and you noticed it and created something with it and gave it a lot of energy. Whether it was the virus or not doesn't matter. You acknowledged it by creating with it.
Yeah. Okay. The comment that I made after it happened was, I disagree.
Yeah. Disagree from it harvesting you.
Okay. Yeah, I just never understood the consequences of that. But
it needed to be noticed. You happen to be living in an area that has some very ancient ghosts that have never had a 3 billion person lockdown in the world before. The whole unseen world is in an uproar right now with people who aren't going to work, not using the buses and stuff like that. Uproar.
Okay. And then there's another
but there's one more thing.
Oh.
It made a move on one of your senses. That also means that you have a sense of otherworldly things. And you've had that for a very long time. And you need to start paying attention to your other world senses and begin to exercise them during some of these very unusual times.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. This would be a time for you to look at mediumship. Okay?
Okay.
Crossing over beings who've never experienced a world lockdown before and they got nothing left. Do it as a service to them. It can be as simple. All unseen beings around me now, I create a portal of light to the great astral world. I call in the astral ancestral entities of every being that's within these words to be heard. I am opening a portal now for you to return to your astral places and spaces so you may go through your life review. I hold open this portal of light out of service to the fifth world of peace. And shine your light bright and open the portals. Allow that into your strategy.
Yeah. About a week ago, I had a very vivid dream about dealing with autistic children.
Tell me about it.
Basically, I mean, it was very, very vivid. Like, you know, it wasn't anything animated or anything like that. It was like real human beings. And I was using a process of give me that hand, where you would put your hand out, right hand to reach the right hand of the child. And of course, there would be a refusal, and you would just pick the hand up and put it in your hand and say, thank you. And keep on repeating that. And there's some point in the process where on you know, getting the feedback from their response, where you literally keep hold of their hand and pull them towards you. And the expression the child made was, now bearing in mind, this is a child that wasn't talking before, just comes out and says, kind of like, thank you for pulling me through the window. And I was wondering if that was somewhat of a valid process.
It is. When did you have this dream?
Maybe 5 nights ago.
Today is Thursday, and on Sunday, 5 nights ago, we had 13 sunspots appear on the sun, and Monday, all 13 sunspots disappeared without a coronal mass ejection. So what you were experiencing is your God source sun connected being connecting you to all the soul family on parallel timelines that need help getting out of their haze of confusion. Do you feel that?
Probably has some connection to my San Pedro ceremonies.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I don't have a recollection to about a half an hour of it.
Sometimes you don't need a recollection, you just need the knowingness. That you were doing the right thing, you were doing your spiritual service, and the dream opened up a portal for you to observe it, for you to ponder it, understand it. It became a manifestation for you, which means you were actually helping people get through their own spiritual haze. You use the term autistic, but it could be another you on a parallel timeline, or another child that's in your soul family in a parallel timeline that needed your signature frequency in this place now to help them to get through their haze.
And you had something to do with the signature frequency. The shaman pretty much When I was talking to him afterwards, I made the comment about that there was an exchange of signature frequency. Yes. I didn't know if it was given to me or if I was giving.
You were passing it on to them.
Yeah.
And it's your birthright and legacy to pass on that signature frequency of potent, powerful strength and fortitude, to repeat the process, to get them through the experience.
I guess I'm beginning to piece my purpose in life together.
Yes, to be a spiritual healer.
And I kind of made the comment, talking to the shaman, that the only one I really understood was being a fire shaman.
All the more reason to go out and have a fire in the next couple of days.
Yeah. Well, especially with the last show.
My advice is make a big fire, as big as you can get it without setting your yard on fire. Go spend a few $100 and get some big cord of wood delivered and have a big fire.
Yeah, I am a pyromaniac when it comes to fires.
Congratulations, so am I. Have a big fire. Okay? Bring out all your old journals and read them to the fire. Tell your whole story to the fire so you can start writing the future now.
Another thing that happened during the San Pedro was I was advised to leave my story behind.
For the journey, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because if we take the story into the journey, we're not going to learn anything new.
Okay.
One of the biggest problems a lot of spiritual people have is they're attached to their story, but they also don't know the wholeness of their story. Or they get information from the other realms and they get lost in that story and forget the whole purpose was the experience itself, not the story.
Yeah, because I thought I'd kind of pieced something together and I realized that all it is a breathing point.
Right. Just a breathing point. Again. Right. And when we learn to tell our story to the fire, we learn the various breathing points of our past. And we allow the traumas of the past and the joys of the past to be part of our breathing points, which is a part of us, all that is, was, and ever will be of us.
Going back to an ayahuasca shaman, she made the comment to me about, this is on when we first met. She said that I was strong.
Yeah.
And I never asked what that meant.
That means you have internal intestinal fortitude to stick through an experience and not get locked into fear.
That sounds like me.
You got intestinal fortitude. You're also not to let the projections of entities or external sources lead you down to the false path. You're going to, something doesn't smell right.
Yeah, sometimes I think I could be a little dangerous during the awakening.
Dangerous to who?
Humanity.
Why? Why?
I want to move at the same speed.
So the whole point of the awakening is let everyone move at their own speed without limitations. It's your bubble of reality, and there's no speed limit in your bubble of reality. Anything that's telling you to conform to their speed limit is a conformist, and that's not you.
Oh, that's a good way of looking at it. It's for me to get busy doing something for myself.
At your own pace.
Yeah.
Not at the with the pace of molasses that everyone else is working at.
Fantastic.
It's as simple as that. Go at your own pace. Take down your speed limit signs. You can make that your own ritual and ceremony of taking down all the speed limit signs. No turn on red signs. Fuck that. I can U-turn or turn on red whenever I want.
Yeah. What things should I be pursuing in terms of my self-growth here?
What are you doing for a job now?
I call it a government sign writer, unemployed.
What did you do before?
Mechanic.
And pretty much until the coronavirus is done, you don't do any other mechanic stuff.
Yeah. In fact, actually, you gave me a personal reading. I guess it was 6-7 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at a automobile manufacturer.
Mm-hmm. I remember you now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I didn't quite make it to Canada because it was like 3 days before they locked down British Columbia. And then 2 days later, they locked down the Canadian border.
Well, in this short interim, I think you just need to focus on doing your spiritual work. Do you have access to any other medicines you could take for your own fire ceremonies?
No, I don't think so.
You're in Atlanta. It's everywhere. Yeah. Okay. You can find some mushrooms if you ask around.
Okay.
Okay. And start at a very low dosage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done mushrooms?
Never.
So under a gram. Okay. Under a gram. Now that should go 4 or 5 hours, and do it indoors first. You can still have some outdoor energy until you learn what it does for you. And you can take a 2nd gram after you've done a few journeys that way. All it's going to do is extend your journey and give you a lot more visuals. I would highly recommend that you do some fire ceremony that just clears out the work life that you've had, all the crappy ass cars you've had to work on, all the mechanic stuff you had to do for the corporations, and get yourself back into being your self mechanic. Okay? Make some spiritual tools, hammers and chisels that can help you motivate yourself, so that sitting in front of the fire is your new working on engines of yourself.
Yes, I enjoy propulsion engines.
Mm-hmm. Your belief engine. You take it apart and put it back together.
Yeah.
Okay. Become that self mechanic. You got the time now. You'd have never been able to do it with it before.
Yes, it is quite an advantage at this point in time to have all the self-time.
Right. Use it. Indulge yourself in it. Bathe yourself in it.
Yeah, I was going to make some changes and change location and go up in the hills of North Georgia and
just do it.
Ping.
Just do it, like the Nike saying. Just do it.
Do it.
Just do it. Don't hesitate or doubt yourself anymore. Just do it.
Well, that was very helpful.
You're welcome, brother.
Yes.
Anything else you want to ask me?
No, I think that's enough for now. It's
All right.
Stuff to think about.
All right. Take it easy and have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, Robert, I think we're going to call it an end to the show today. This has been a beautiful show, from opening speech to each and every caller that might have. And I want to thank all the audience that have come in. And tomorrow, we are going to be having another show. That is the comedy show. Yes, Friday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, purely comedy. So for all you spiritual light workers with sticks up your ass, please remove them before you come to this Friday show. It will be raunchy. It will be funny. It will be making fun of a lot of things, so that we can have a little pure soul entertainment tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. All right, everyone. Well, have a great day. Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma.
Nudge, nudge, it's the Holy Grail.
Improvise. Mysterious.
It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.